Think of the children! Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movies that got the wrong rating.
Shooter! Shooter!
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we will be looking at movies that either escaped judgment or were too harshly handled by the MPAA's rating system in North America. Whether it be sex, violence, language, or a mixture of all three, these films should have warranted a second look.
Now, you're going to stay here forever.
Number 10, Coraline. Neil Gaiman fans flocked to theaters in 2009 when Coraline, the animated feature based on his famous children's novel, was released.
What are you doing here in the middle of the night?
You're just in time for supper, dear.
With a loyal following consisting of both kids and adults, Coraline seemed like a fun family movie outing. However, the film's creepy atmosphere didn't resound too well with audiences who expected something a little more lighthearted.
You're back. And you brought vermin with you?
Although the PG rating highlighted the film's more intense scenes, there was still a considerable amount of parental backlash about Coraline not receiving a PG-13 rating. Whether it traumatized younger viewers or not, the horror comedy kept the PG rating and has since become a quirky horror classic.
You dare disobey your mother!
Number 9. The King's Speech. Profanity and family outings make for strange bedfellows. Such was the case with Tom Hooper's Oscar-winning 2010 drama, The King's Speech.
Swallow the bloody things!
While pretty much a flawless piece of entertainment that was appropriate for all ages, the MPAA stuck an R rating on the film, much to the movie-going public's dismay.
Mother. Shorten the humming each time. Mother.
The high classification was due to the profanity-laced speech therapy session that the titular king must attend to get over his nerves. These scenes, meant to be honest and slightly comedic, were later censored by the Weinstein Company in order for the film to obtain a PG-13 rating. However, the overall effect of the scenes was muted as a result. Number 8. Red Dawn. John Milius's fantastical war scenario film, Red Dawn, has the dubious honor of being the first ever PG-13 rated film in history, and for obvious reasons.
What's going on, my friend?
As there was no middle ground between PG and R ratings, Red Dawn seemed to fit the bill. However, some viewers balked at the ultra-violent introductory scenes of the movie, as well as the depiction of war crimes, foul language, and general disturbing violence seen throughout the film. It seems that the film should have just received the R rating regardless. Number 7. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. For Disney's 7th Renaissance-era title, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, the studio took a much darker approach to its storytelling, in adapting Victor Hugo's very non-child-friendly novel to the big screen.
What are you doing?
I was just imagining a rope around that beautiful neck.
This G-rated animated flick gained pretty good reviews upon release, being praised for its more mature storyline, but Hunchback also suffered from parental criticism, deeming the film to be too scary and violent for younger children, more familiar with Disney's later works.
This burning desire is turning me to sin.
Needless to say, the gothic imagery, hellscapes, and thematic elements are more suitable for a PG-rated film. Number 6. The Lovely Bones. Although an average success theatrically, Peter Jackson's adaptation of Alex Sebold's novel, The Lovely Bones, was one of those movies that could have benefited from an R rating.
I have to go.
I don't want you to leave.
With a depressing storyline involving child murder and pedophilia, the bold decision for DreamWorks Studios to market the film to a younger demographic was its own undoing, hurting the overall impact the film was supposed to have.
You're a salmon girl, right?
Citing poor story development but great acting, The Lovely Bones fizzled out after a moderate take at the box office, leaving us wondering if Jackson's film would have gained higher clout had it been given an edgier rating.
A young lady alone at night, not safe.
Didn't you hear me? Piss off!
Number 5. Sucker Punch. Already known for hard R-rated gorefests such as Dawn of the Dead and 300, this steampunk thriller was a glorified piece of eye candy for many young viewers. The scantily clad vixens populating Sucker Punch gained strong criticism from feminist groups, claiming the film objectified women and shouldn't be broadcast to tween viewers.
Better
Go, pig.
Although it had the look of a Sin City-esque comic book film, Sucker Punch barely made back its budget at the box office, with many citing a flawed and watered-down story as the reason. An R-rated director's cut was later released, and it is largely considered an improvement.
You'll never have me. Ever.
Number 4. Lost in Translation. Sexual content can be a death sentence for modest films looking to obtain a lower rating. This was the case with Sofia Coppola's quirky, and mostly harmless, Lost in Translation.
For relaxing times, make it Suntory time.
Featuring hardly any language and no violence whatsoever, it was confusing to see why this film received an R rating. The offending scene, in which the characters attend a Japanese strip club, hardly has the same effect as other nude scenes in PG-13 movies, such as Titanic.
Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls. Wearing this.
Despite the unnecessarily high rating, the film gained widespread acclaim, and even a screenwriting Oscar for Coppola.
I get you a couple drinks?
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Number 3. Once Upon a Time in the West. Although the MPAA's current rating system was not yet in effect by the time of Sergio Leone's epic Once Upon a Time in the West release, its stylized yet shocking violence garnered it a pretty tame rating when it came out. Originally receiving an M rating, which is equivalent to today's PG, it seems a bit too tame given the film's high body count and shocking violence, which includes on-screen rape, child killing, and mild gore. When the MPAA started re-rating films, they slapped a PG-13 rating on this iconic spaghetti western. Number 2. Poltergeist. Remember gathering around the TV as a family to watch Poltergeist? Didn't think so. Although virtually bloodless, Tobe Hooper's supernatural thriller is one of those movies that could be impressionable on young kids, mainly because its PG rating made it obtainable for children at video stores upon home release. While the film's practical effects may be dated, they are still horrific, with faces peeling off and skeletons emerging from swimming pools. Underlying themes of murder and hauntings aren't exactly kid-friendly either. Although it was originally given the R rating, it later appealed to the PG rating it currently holds. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
He can't vote. He's not a team.
All right, who would you vote for?
Carrie?
Anybody but Bush, okay?
Are you gonna move back?
Number 1. Jaws. Hollywood and the public never saw this one coming. Steven Spielberg's landmark action horror film, Jaws, surpassed audience expectations and became one of the first ever blockbusters to earn big at the box office. Some of the film's success may be chalked up to its tame PG rating. Even by 1975 standards, the film's gory shark attacks, detailed close-ups of severed limbs, and terrifying atmosphere would have garnered an R rating if it were a picture backed by a smaller studio. Yet this little piece of cinematic mastery escaped heavy censorship and managed to set the bar for thrillers in the decades that followed.